And this is the third Table Matters event, and we've seen some dramatic growth over the years, not just in awareness in the community, but in the action-oriented projects happening on the North Shore. So today our focus is on showcasing some of the budding projects that are happening locally. And we also featured a couple of speakers from Vancouver and Richmond to share their ideas and work on two key areas of growth for the North Shore. Those are food policy and farm-to-cafeteria programs. And Table Matters is not just a once-a-year event. Last year we began a Table Matters network, which is meeting monthly. And one accomplishment of this network was submitting some input to the District of North Vancouver official community plan process that resulted in the district adding key elements of policy related to food and urban agriculture into the OCP. So ensuring that all residents have ongoing access to healthy, fresh food within a sustainable food system is actually a really complex problem. We see food that arrives today, but we really have no idea the channels that it took to bring it to us, or the players involved. And that's why really a networking event is important, because we all have a role to play in the area of food. And I started coordinating this North Shore Table Matters network because I feel that it's important to bring people together to address the issue of food and our access to it. And I do this through a mandate under the BC Core Public Health Programs and the Food Security Program in particular. And the goals of the North Shore Table Matters network are to continue building the food systems network that we have on the North Shore, and that includes all of you, and to build community capacity to do projects that promote all residents' access to nutritious food within a sustainable food system. And so this network is open to anyone who lives or works or has an interest in food systems and food on the North Shore.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Amulchason, our name for Capilano, for our Capilano Reserve, and welcome to our hall. Could I ask you to stand for a moment? So I'd like to call on the Great Spirit to help us through this afternoon for this important session that we're having on food security, and for bringing people together to discuss the various issues around food that we're dealing with. And I welcome everyone, and I hope you all have a safe journey home. Archka.
So as Margaret mentioned, we're very excited to be here today and are very excited to watch the transformation of this event over the last number of years. In the first year, when we first started with Table Matters 2 years ago, we were inviting experts and people from around the region to come to the North Shore to share their ideas and inspire action. And today we're here from a totally different perspective. We're celebrating all of the things that are already happening here on the North Shore. And the transformation is huge in the past 2 years. So I'm excited today to celebrate all of the work that you are doing, to share information and to really start to build that network and get everyone engaged in what's happening. So I'm lucky I get to introduce our MC for the day, Mr. Don Rutherford. You can see him lonely up here by himself, just waiting eagerly to get his hands on the mic. I was given a bio for Don, so I'm going to try and actually read it. But Don has been active in the North Shore community for the better part of 25 years in his now former role as the executive director of the North Shore Neighborhood House, aka my boss. During that time, the Neighborhood House was very much involved in the development and management of community gardens. He adopted the Edible Garden Project, that's me. And that led into all sorts of different urban agriculture initiatives like the development of Lutet Farm. He claims that he remains a huge supporter despite being a lousy gardener. So without further ado, Don Rutherford.
Thank you, Heather. Almost all of that's true because I wrote it, but the lousy gardener part, adopting Heather was an easy thing to do. You know, if you've ever spent any time, adopting Heather was really quite easy. The project is a little more difficult, but Heather herself is quite quick. So my task today is largely one of timekeeper. The first round, which is the introduction of these of the projects, a very tight time frame, 5 minutes each. They've been given very thorough instructions on how to do that 5 minutes, and I have been given a wand. Can you hear that? For the presenters, that's your 5 minutes. When the magic wand goes off, you're done. You either leave here or you become a pumpkin or something of that nature. There we go. I love this thing.